before the show. Wow. Wow. Who is that, Whimsy?
That's the Haid Bluegrass Band.
That's beautiful. I could see you on stage with a band like that. That would suit your voice. That would suit your voice so well, that song.
Oh, thank you. That's one of the songs I like very much. And I really love her voice, and I love the way she wove the song.
Oh,
and, Yeah, they're good.
You should sing that. You should try it. It's a good song for you.
I'm going home.
Yeah.
I will.
You should. You should.
Well, how have you been? How have you been?
Well, I should be asking you that question. You and I have been busy. You have been
Yes.
busier than me, but we've been
I
busy.
feel like I birthed a baby.
We've both been doing a lot of readings, doing a lot of
Yeah.
channeling. I've been doing a lot of artwork. You've been seeing a lot of patients, clients. We're active right now.
It's good to help people.
Yeah.
It's good
It
to
is
help
a
people.
wonderful, wonderful feeling. It's what I love most about doing this.
And it's good to have you by my side as my sidekick on this journey called life.
Yeah.
And Chuck and I were talking about, you know, when you get a message from God, or, you know, in the Hasidic tradition, in Jewish Hasidic tradition, they say you should talk to God as if he's your father, your mother, your friend. And it's called hitbodedut. Hitbodedut.
That's $1 million word there.
Hitbodedut. And how we were talking about how you kind of got the gig here as the co-host of the show.
I'm gonna tell the story. I was
laughing.
Tell the
story about the
I was
laughing. I'd been looking for a co-host for many, many years.
I was laughing when you said you should talk to God like you talk to your mother or father. And I thought, because, okay, before I got this gig, things were not going so well in my life. I was just kind of flatlining. Nothing was happening. I was putting out a lot of effort in the universe, not seeing results coming back. And I even felt like my prayers were not being answered for a while. I think we've all been in that position. And I literally got mad at God. And this sounds like a joke, but I literally one night walked down the sidewalk and went, God damn you, God. I actually did that. I was mad. I was like, I pray and I pray and I pray. Why am I not getting results? Why am I not seeing anything? And then 2 weeks later, you came through and offered me this. And things have just taken off in so many beautiful directions. And I think it's okay. It's okay to get mad at God. You know, I think or the universe, or whatever you want to call it, because I think what God the universe responds to is our passion. And that was like an impassioned plea. Like I was basically saying, I've had enough. I want to move on. I want things to happen. And hence the goddamn God. And I don't say that to offend anybody, but that's what I literally did. And I said to you before the show, do you really want me to tell this story?
Well, I think that you manifested this job. You get paid. You have, we were talking about the fact that, you know, you're able to pay your bills and stuff, but did you in your mind have an idea of what that structure would look like for you in terms of a job, your income, you know, like what were you manifesting at that? Were you clear about your manifestation for people that need advice about manifesting?
Well, at that point, I had pretty much let go of everything. I thought I knew what I wanted. You know, I had tried to sell a screenplay. I tried to sell a book. I'd had auditions that went nowhere. Art commissions that fell through. I was having a lot of that happening. It just was not falling into place for me. That's why I felt like I was flatlining and things just weren't manifesting. It turns out there was apparently a lot going on behind the scenes, you know, and on the other side, whatever. We have our guides, and obviously things were being worked on, but it's about timing. And I think it had to sync up with where I was ready for it, but also to that point where I made a declaration. That was very dramatic for me to do that.
Well, I remember that I wanted to get to a larger audience, and my goal was at least 100,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
We're almost there.
We're almost there. Yeah.
Over 11,000 and we'll be there. And I had hired a creative director, Debbie Brady, to oversee the remake of the channel.
Yes.
And I had worked with a lot of readers. You know, I had you know, all of them amazing. And I knew I wanted to bring on a co-star because it's lonely to just talk to yourself. You need this, right? So she and I had a list of people that we had either worked with or So yeah, right around the time that you had done that, I started to roll around the idea, well, why not Chuck? Chuck is a trained actor. I needed someone with good vocal training who could, work, who I had good energy with. So it's interesting that it fell into place, and I feel that the job was created for you in a way. I don't think anybody
Even
else
though
could do
I
your
didn't see
job.
it.
I
Yeah,
don't think anyone else could do
oh
your
no, I did not envision any of this. And I think that's part of what I meant. A big lesson in this for me was just letting go, releasing, declaring what I wanted, but at the same time releasing and just releasing my expectations of what it was going to look like. In fact, when you initially approached me for this, I was like, Whimsy, I don't know that I can go on live. I don't know I can do this. And you said, oh, and I want you to do your psychic readings. I said, Whimsy, you want me to go in front of thousands of people and do that? And because I'd always been very secretive, very private about it. But you have always been good at getting me out of my comfort zones and showing me that I can do a lot more than I think I'm capable of. And yes, when we first started this, I was making microphone mistakes, lighting mistakes, camera mistakes. It was a time. But I started to fall into this and I started to really love it. I ended up doing my own channel. Now you and I are doing 2 shows a week instead of 1.
Sorry about that.
I've got people coming to me for
You got a raise. He got a raise.
Thank you. But people are coming to me for readings. And I find that I passionately love doing this because it is about service to people. Bottom line, that's what it's about. It's about people. It's helping. It's just being a vessel for information to come through. And I always see that as the greatest honor and privilege. But before I worked with you, I wasn't going to pursue that sort of thing. I was just very private about what I did. But you always encouraged me, even when we used to work together. You were always trying to get me to come forward with it.
Well, I think that you had everything that the co-host needed to have. You were able to be the Ed McMahon to my Johnny Carson, which is Debbie Brady was like, you need an Ed McMahon to your Johnny. Yeah. I'm like, I think I know somebody who can be my Ed McMahon. Because, after 100,000, that's when you start I needed someone who could sell Alpo.
Dog food.
We'll probably start doing that, yeah.
Dog food.
But
I know what you're saying.
I needed somebody who had good vocals and somebody who was comfortable around the psychic realm.
Oh, very, very. I love it.
Somebody who had acting training, vocal training. So in a way, another way of looking at it is that the co-host job on this channel was created for you by the universe.
I believe that now.
I believe that too.
But I couldn't see that at the time. That's why we have to just let go of our expectations. I saw a comment earlier. I don't know who made it. I don't even know if they were talking about me, but someone said, what am I supposed to be learning from this? Maybe when I was doing my God damn you God. But I think I've shown you make a plea, an impassioned plea. We get hurt. We get heard by the universe. I let go of my expectations. I just went wherever it was going to take me, and look where I am now. I can honestly say I am excited about my life right now. I love my life right now. 2.5 years ago, I don't think that was true, at least in that place I was in.
And when you say give up your expectations, can you speak on that? Because I have very specific ideas about why I think expectations hold us back and put us in a box.
Well, they can.
Can you talk on that a little bit?
They can limit us. I think if we get too specific, it's like we're boxing it in when the universe or God, whatever you want to call it, has a much bigger plan for us. And if we get too specific, we're actually holding it back. We're holding ourselves back. Or sometimes the universe has other ways of working around a situation. Like I always wanted an apartment with a fireplace, crown molding, French windows, all of that. Now, I would have preferred it had been 4 or 5 bedrooms and bigger with a balcony. I got a much smaller apartment, but
it is a great apartment.
But everything I wanted.
In Los Feliz.
Yeah, but
most people would die for that apartment, by the way.
Well, 100 people were trying to get this. And if you're asking about that, Los Angeles is notoriously hard to get an apartment. I was on a list of 100 people for this little apartment. I actually wrote an essay, a 2-page essay. This is why I love this apartment. This is why it would mean so much to me. I just really pursued it. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, instead of being tightly rigid on what I wanted, I knew the essence of what I wanted. And I got the essence of what I wanted, but maybe not as big or as expensive. But
I think you're a true actor also, in the sense that you go out onto the stage and you always sparkle, you always want to make people feel good. But when you come out onto the stage, when you come out and talk to people, and I think people sense that.
Well, we do that before the show ourselves.
Yeah,
Sparkle.
we get it. But I think, please.
I was telling you that Shirley Temple's mother she was not a typical stage mother, but she was always on the set with little Shirley. And before Shirley would film a take, the mother would whisper in her ear, "Sparkle, Shirley, sparkle." And hence Shirley sparkled. So I always say that to you before the show. Sparkle, Whimsy.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Well, this brings us to what is going on here. Ooh, I got it backwards. Let me fix that.
Is it backwards, or am I backwards?
I think mine is, but not yours. But we have a Book of the Month club. Chuck and I started it a couple of years ago, and we select books from independent authors.
Yeah.
And this book this month is How the Tin Man Found His Brain by Danut Debney Shaw. How are you liking it?
I'm liking it thus far. I'm just a few chapters in. I will have it read because it's next week, isn't it? We're doing the interview.
It's really good. Yeah,
it is good. So I'll be ready by next
now on page 30.
week. It's just been a busy period for me, and I'm trying to sneak in bits here and there. But it's an excellent book. And
she'll be in our studio. She'll be in our studios on the 12th next week.
The 12th. Okay,
at
I will
6
be ready.
p.m. So yeah, hopefully I won't have any bookings. I better close that out. Not to have any bookings after 6 o'clock next week. We should make a note of that. Yeah. But boy, she goes dark here. She gets into the toxic power of jealousy. I think it's much deeper. Even though it reminds me of Conversations with God, I think it gets a lot deeper.
Well, you have to remember, Conversations with God, wasn't that over 35 years ago?
Yeah, I think
when that came out? We've evolved. We've grown. And maybe the feeling was we're ready to get a little more complex, a little more advanced with this type of material. And I think it's perfectly fine to go into the darkness. It's like me getting mad at God. It's all just colors of who we are. I've always loved that analogy. You hold a prism up to white light. The white light breaks off into the rainbow, all the different colors. All of our emotions, even our dark sides, are all colors that make up who we are. And we're not complete otherwise. It has to be acknowledged.
Yeah, that's
and then there are polarities to that too. To find the positive, you do have to go into some of the negative.
Yeah, the shadow work is necessary so that you can break free of your own biases. Well, let's go ahead and turn the camera around, Chuck.
Well, let's turn the camera around here. Let me scroll back up here. We have our marvelous Joel Tilson here already with some questions, and we have Renee and Intuitive Kathy and Terry and Jeremy. Hi, Jeremy. And Romy, and I'm trying not to repeat names here. Let me keep scrolling. Anthony, Kimberly. Hi, Kimberly. Glenda. Hello, Glenda. Terry, Cat Shepherd. It's Kimberly. Gigi, I love your name. Oh, this is a great name. Susie, Mad Max Goods. Let's see, Raymond Di Pasquale, K Travel Tarot.
Okay.
Cat Shepherd, and I was just reading her comment here. When I was homeless, I used to yell at God a lot. Damn it, a door closed. Where's that open window everyone keeps talking about? Well, that's what happened to me. A window opened up big time about 2 weeks later after I did that. K Travel even said, letting go works. Thank you for that. Raymond had a lovely quote here: to affect the quality of the day, that is the highest of arts. And that's a quote from Henry David Thoreau. Trying to see. I'm trying not to repeat names here. Let me see. Here's Linda, Wendy, who did your beautiful hat.
Yeah,
You were
thank
at the
you,
beginning of the
Wendy.
shows. Yeah. I think we've covered everyone here. Alex.
Well, we'll keep saying hi to people.
We'll keep saying hi to people.
Raymond, Marie, Kat Shepard, Margarita, Anne Hamlet, and Susie Mox Goods. And Holly is here as well.
Yeah. Whimsy, guess what I did last
What'd you
week?
do?
I went to the Hollywood Bowl and saw
yeah.
Cynthia Erivo star in Jesus Christ Superstar. She was electrifying. Electrifying. And I understand there were those 3 performances were the only times she's ever going to do the show. So I was one of the lucky few to be there. She got a 2-minute standing ovation in mid-show.
And what was the, why did she decide that she was only going to do it a couple of times?
Well, it's 3 times, actually. Well, the Hollywood Bowl, every year they do a Broadway musical, and it's traditionally 3 nights. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what she agreed to. And of course, they had the full blessing of Andrew Lloyd Webber, who was there that night. And he'd said he'd always wanted to cast a woman as Jesus. So it was an amazing evening. But I do hope they change their minds and they do a few more productions, or at least they record it, because a lot of people want to see the show. They just had to throw out that I was one of the lucky ones to be there. And yes,
Adam
Lambert. You pulled it up. Yes, Adam Lambert.
Mm-hmm.
And Adam Lambert used to come in our store. I used to talk to him all the time.
I remember him.
Yeah, very nice guy.
I had no idea that Adam Lambert could sing so well.
Yes. Did you see some of the clips?
I did. Yes.
Yeah, it's been all over the internet. But Cynthia was. I think that performance is going to be talked about for years to come. It's going to become legendary.
Yeah, that's what I hear. Any chance there'll be a remake of the movie starring Cynthia?
Wouldn't that be an idea? I don't know.
I could see her getting a Tony if they took it to Broadway.
Oh, yes. Oh, she would definitely win the Tony for this.
Wow.
So we'll see. But it was quite innovative. And I didn't realize that Andrew Lloyd Webber had been wanting to do this, to cast a woman in this role. He wanted to see how a woman would interpret it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. So on to bigger and better topics. The Ghislaine Maxwell Trump issues are heating up. We want to give a warm welcome to Joel Tilson, our official floor director. He keeps us honest here. He writes, Ghislaine Maxwell will say on tape that Trump did not do anything inappropriate while at Epstein's Island in exchange for partner clemency. What do you think?
Well, actually, that's already the case. I saw something on the news today that there was some quote unquote source said she said nothing whatsoever that was damaging to Trump in all of her hours of testimony. So she's already done it.
This is sick.
Yeah. And it's also very interesting that it was almost immediately after her testimony, they moved her from Florida to a minimum security, almost like a prison camp in Texas. It's much looser, more relaxed environment, not as heavily patrolled. I think that was maybe a little bit of an appeasement or a reward to her. Who knows? Maybe they're even saying, now, if you keep cooperating, there's more here, maybe even a pardon, even though Trump is denying that right now.
Well, I also heard that that wasn't it the GOP that wants to subpoena people, including her, to speak before Congress? Is that right?
I've heard that. Well, it's a given that the Democrats do, but I think there are at least a few GOPs wanting to do this. Let's just see how they stand up to Trump on this, because Trump obviously doesn't want it. Yeah, but I just thought that was intriguing. They said that they allege she said nothing damaging.
It's looking pretty horrible. Well, things over in Russia and Ukraine continue to be pretty horrible. Joel writes, Putin has increased his attacks on Ukraine lately. Will he agree to a ceasefire and peace talks? Gosh, it's hard for me to imagine him just packing up and moving on. I think that's something we should blitz on, but what do you think?
Well, my initial, I guess this is more opinion than anything. I just think if that's going to happen, it's going to be because he's forced to do so. he's going to have to concede. It's all falling apart. It's not working. You've said yourself that he's likely going to be taken off to a gulag, not a gulag, but like put away in Siberia somewhere. He'll probably live comfortably, but he'll be put away.
Well, he has a palace, a private compound in Siberia.
I guess that's what I was trying
and
to
not
say.
all of Siberia is frozen tundra. Some of Siberia is just a rainforest, so he's got this beautiful compound in the rainforest with a lake, and evidently his own private mini submarine. So
what can go wrong there,
Yeah.
Looking at comments here. That's why you see me looking over here. I'm just looking at comments and then looking back at you. Joel Tilson, the MAGA Congress is subpoenaing the Clintons and others for the Epstein's hearings. Will they actually do this? I think I saw in the news that they are already proceeding forward with this. And my immediate thought was, because Trump is doing everything he can to distract, I was wondering, why is he not bringing the Clintons into this, with their alleged connections? Let's see what we can expose on them, maybe anything to take away from Trump. I think that's the hope.
Well, won't it be easy to manipulate the MAGA people because they already believe that Hillary Clinton was selling children out of a pizzeria in Washington, D.C.?
I hadn't heard that, Lindsay.
Pizzagate.
Pizzagate. I've never heard that one.
And it's a real pizzeria.
Mm-hmm.
And evidently the guy that owns the pizzeria had strange people showing up threatening to kill him. And he's like, look, this is a pizza place. But they had just made this entire story up about a pizza place because...
Oh, that's right. I did hear about that. Yeah.
And I think that it got targeted because it's close enough to the White House that a lot of the press and people that work at the White House order from that pizza place just because it happens to be close. So it's like, order a pizza. So it's like, order a pizza and a child to kidnap, they just made this whole, and I guess the guy was like, they were like, we want to go into your basement and see the kidnapped children. And
yes.
And he was like,
I remember that.
And he was saying, we don't have
there was nothing down there.
There is no basement. There's got to be a basement. So pretty crazy.
Yes, there's got to be a basement, all right. Yeah.
Oh my God.
But I don't think that's where the basement is.
Yeah. Well, you want to go ahead and do the Empath prayer?
Well, I think we better.
Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and do the Empath prayer. Then we will go ahead and do some blitzes. Those are 5-minute quick questions. If anybody has some questions for Chuck and myself. And if you would also like to receive a healing at this time, please tell everyone here your name or the name of someone you need us to pray for, and we will include them in our prayers today. Okay. Does that work for you, Chuck?
It works great for me.
Is there anything else we have to announce? We announced the book. Yes. If you have a book that you have written and you would like to appear on our show, please send it to me, Dr. Care of Dr. Whimsy at 1819 Southwest 5th Avenue, Suite 116, Portland, Oregon, 97201. And you too may be selected as one of the writers here on Taco Tuesdays with Chuck and Whimsy.
And you always choose beautifully.
I'm trying. Selection. We've gotten a lot of books. We get a lot of books now.
Well, you intuitively always pick just the right book. Like this book right now is perfect for Mercury retrograde. Things resurfacing, things that we need to be looking at, addressing right now.
Yeah, I actually, I can't remember what I flipped through it and I read something that made me start to laugh because I could so identify with it. And then I put it on the side because I had already selected the other books for a couple of months. And so I wasn't able to get it right away. But sometimes I will look at a book and say, I know that this is the book that we're going to be selecting. And then next week we get to select a new book. So that's
Well, I think you said your initial attraction was the Wizard of Oz reference.
Yeah, but it was
we both love that movie.
But it was also the humor, that spiritual lessons. Do we have to be so heavy? I like the fact that she's able to bring humor and make me laugh while she's also addressing some dark issues in terms of self. Because, boys, personal work can be very scary.
Yes, it can. It can. I know people who simply cannot look at themselves. They're too frightened to do so. And I try to approach people like that with compassion, but I also know how when you're holding in anything like that, it's like poison and it starts affecting your health, your internal organs. I've watched this happen to a number of people I love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. On that happy note, let's bring in the empath prayer.
Okay.
Okay. I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and our good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journeys to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together, collectively as a community, we say, Amen. And for those people today who are requesting a healing for themselves or for those they love, we come together and we pray. We pray that you receive a perfect healing in mind, body, and in spirit. And together again, we say, Amen, Amen, Amen. May all souls be healed. May all souls be healed.
All souls be healed.
All right.
All right. Time to light the candles.
Yeah.
Oh.
I usually do that when I'm listening to the music, but I got so wrapped up in the song, I forgot about it.
Yeah. I can't light candles because of my cat. Sasha's not here right now, but I know better than to leave candles out with my cat.
Oh, really?
Oh, she gets into everything. Everything.
Even fire, huh?
I once caught her taking her paw, putting it over the flame like she was trying to smack it, and I had to take the candle away very quickly.
Oh, you silly human. She was casting a spell.
She probably was, but I can't even have cut flowers. She'll destroy those too.
Whoa. Oh,
can't put up a Christmas tree. She tears that down, pulls all the ornaments off.
Wow.
Pets are such a delight, aren't they?
Yes. Well, we will.
I love her.
When we get the order, we will blitz
Yeah.
away. Yes, what a yeah. Well, you've got one of those crazy Siamese.
Yeah, I've got one of those crazy Siamese.
And they're very unusual animals.
I love them. You know, I've only had Siamese cats since I was a little boy. And I don't know. Once you've gone Siamese, you never want to go back because it's like having 10 different cats. They're multiple personalities and they make their presence known. Anyway, Joel is saying, will there be a blockade of oil exports out of Russia by NATO?
Can NATO do that? Let's take a look.
I don't know if that's in the realm of the authority of NATO.
Well, they would block the ships.
Okay, so that they can do that much because, you know, we have talked many times about trade routes. Yeah, that's the bottom line.
Yeah,
it's money, you know, and so that could. Let's see. I'm going to do this as a yes or no. Will there be a blockade of oil exports out of Russia by NATO? I'm getting a firm no on that. But let's see.
You know, I just feel like Putin is at the end of his ropes. That they're we have really squeezed the life out of this guy. You know, foolish behavior. And his opposition, Trump is no longer his friend because MBS withdrew support for him. Mohammed bin Salman out of Saudi Arabia. If he wants, and he's hoping that he's going to win the Nobel Peace Prize for bringing the Arab states into helping to govern. It's not going to be Israel. Israel wouldn't be able to afford it even if they wanted it, which I don't think they do because it's the wild, wild west, you know.
Yeah.
But what they can do is they can bring the Arab states into control, and then it gets funding by the Abraham Accords. So Trump thinks he's going to win the Nobel Peace Prize for this idea. But you have this strong opposition from the emperor, private conversations happening about the inheritance. And I really think Putin's on his way out. His health looks pretty bad, too.
Well, it's interesting the parallels between Trump and Putin. how they
Yeah.
both seem to be going out at about the same time and losing their power around the same time also. You know, both of them being looked at as obsolete old men who are rapidly becoming of no use anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I see that with both of them.
When you tune into Putin, do you feel that he's going to just go down with the ship, or do you think he's going to find a way to get out of there?
Well, I think he's definitely going to try to find a way to get out of there. Now, whether he would succeed with that, I doubt it. I'm more inclined to agree with the first part you said about, is he going to go down with the ship? I think if he has his way, he'll go down with the ship. He's just going to hang on, because I think he's just that crazy. But
Right.
he just may not be given that luxury of doing so. He may be just taken away. Because we keep seeing him being exiled, like you said, Siberia, like his palace, whatever. He'll be comfortable. Won't be like he's in a gulag or anything like that.
Well, I did a remote one time where I was at the palace where he summers in Siberia, because it's quite pleasant in the summer.
Yeah.
And he has his private honor guards. And when I went into the trance and I let myself be carried and I got to be everybody in the scene, I saw that the honor guards were the children of the generals, the close friends of Putin in the military. He hand selects them for their loyalty to be his honor guard.
Almost ceremonial, like ceremonial appointments.
Because my father is the general of so-and-so, so I got to be selected as the honor guard overseeing his summer palace vacation. And what happened in the remote was that somebody had broken into the palace and made it through a window in an attempted assassination. And that was about a year into the war. And Putin came to realize that his own honor guard was trying to kill him, that somebody in the honor guard had helped him get onto the compound, into the window. And it really shook me up as Putin, but I hand selected these people. They're my friends' kids. And so the level of paranoia I took away from that as Putin, that I'm lying there and I'm in my private villa in Siberia and I've got these dressed up honor guards people, and I'm, how safe, you can't get safer than this. And the fact that somebody made it through the front window, a young guy makes it through the front window who's a friend of one of my honor guards, who's been aided in getting onto the compound with an intent to kill me.
Yeah.
So if that was a year ago or longer, even at this point, just how safe does Putin feel? He can't possibly.
Well, he can't possibly, no. Again, the parallels, because Trump keeps surrounding himself with quote unquote loyalists, and I'm sure many of them would stab him in the back the first chance they could get. And something I was going to ask you, this is a hit I've had for a while, and I've always been reluctant to talk about it because it is dark. And you know me, I don't really like going to these places, but I have been sensing that there might be an inside job with Trump. That might be his downfall. I don't want to go so far as to say, please no, I'm not saying assassination or anything, but somebody inside is going to lead to Trump's undoing. Someone he would least suspect, someone he thinks is loyal to him. And I wonder, have you had hits like that in any of your readings and when you've gone into this with heart-centered remote viewing?
If there was anybody in history that he reminds me of, it's Oliver Cromwell.
Yeah.
In the sense that Oliver Cromwell, but Oliver Cromwell was a true Protestant. He truly believed in what he was doing. But when he pushed the Parliament to execute King Charles I, he was so giddy that he was taking the ink and he was rubbing it all over his face, and he went crazy. And when he went in and killed all the Irish, he massacred the Irish, these damn foreigners, right? This glee, that cruelty was the point with Oliver Cromwell. And you would think that Oliver Cromwell would have this horrible, horrible end. And instead he had some kind of physical breakdown and he simply goes back to the farm and dies. And so it's more like he just disappeared from history. He has these horrible thing he does, and then he just leaves. And I can't help but think, which goes into the next question, actually, that Joel brings up, which is about Trump's health.
Trump's health status.
How long can you maintain this when you're as sick as he is, when you've done he's done drugs. Come on, folks. We all know about him.
We know that.
Adderall, cocaine in the 80s. And he was sipping wine at an event in Europe. They had him toasting wine. So this idea that he doesn't drink, I mean, what's that about?
Oh, please. You can't believe anything he says. But there's certainly enough witnesses going back to the 1980s who know about his drug history, cocaine abuse and so forth. I've always suspected meth, some kind of stimulants he's doing, because I've been around people like that. I've seen the personality characteristics of a person on that type of drug, and he fits it. But we've long been reading about his health issues, his cardiovascular health, his heart.
You're a physician's assistant. When you look at his health, like if he were to come into your office, where would your mind go looking at the swelling in his legs and
swelling in the
legs? His diet.
Well, I mean, I think the most obvious thing anybody would see first off is the morbid obesity. He's obese, but as far as the legs, the swelling, I would immediately think of edema.
Yes.
Or gout, edema. Those would be some of my first suspicions. Or certainly not getting enough circulation, which certainly is the case with, his
Would you
veins,
think
his heart is not pumping enough blood, congestive heart failure? Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
And if you were honest about his drug abuse, like cocaine, that can damage the heart too, right?
Of course it can. And anything that's a stimulant, look what it does to the adrenals, your blood pressure, your heart, whole cardiovascular system. The man is 79 years old. He's starting. Well, not just starting. He has been breaking down for quite a while. We're just now seeing it more obvious.
And then when you combine that with his flying all over the place, flying can't be good for you. Living on McDonald's. Would you be shocked if he hadn't had a stent placed?
I'd be very shocked. In fact, I'm frankly shocked that his diet of McDonald's, KFC, his lifestyle didn't catch up with him years ago. I'm amazed he's made it this far.
Yeah,
but we talked about that recently, about that health, that report from his doctors. It used to be, it was so obvious Trump had written the letters himself. But I remember his first administration, there was a doctor's report. This is the healthiest president in the history of the United States. All that hyperbole and stuff. Remember that? This last medical report was about as honest. It came the closest to being honest, actually.
But they said that his ejection fraction was normal, which of course that's not possible.
It can't be.
Just heart failure and damage to the heart wall of the heart, which is causing the edema.
Oh yeah. Well, we both suspected that maybe they're just starting to prepare us, like we're going to be getting more health reports in the coming weeks and months. It's all to set the stage for him to gracefully leave at the end of the year. He'll have this excuse, a medical excuse, and I think more will come out. But this was the first time I've seen a report actually say he's obese. He's always claimed I'm 6'3" and 215 pounds, like Chris Hemsworth or something. And they actually called him obese for the first time.
Well,
I'm sure he wasn't happy about that.
Well, let's go ahead and take a look at what we see for Trump's health.
What we see. Okay.
If you haven't had a chance to like and share, we would really appreciate it. Thank you. As we slowly crawl our way up to 100K. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, it's not good.
No?
His health, not subscribers, but definitely lost. He's very much at risk right now. That's obvious. Despair. I take this darkness, despair. There's a shadow over him. Now, this is the card freaks me out, and I get this. So I'm not saying death. I'm not saying he's dying. But maybe death of the presidency, death of the way things have been. But I did get that card.
So what if he keels over and has a heart attack? Can they save him? I mean, if he has a heart attack on Air Force One, I mean,
well, I mean, I think they have an operating room on Air Force One, don't they? And don't a team of doctors travel with him wherever he goes?
I just think this guy's not long for this world. I mean,
so you, Whimsy, do you think I was?
Yeah, I mean, I don't predict death because we're not allowed to.
I know, and I don't want to go there. I don't.
But it shows transition. What's interesting is that this guy has lost his following. 5 of Pentacles is poverty and out in the cold. This is to be abandoned. You know, this guy has lost his support.
Yeah.
And he has lost his support.
Yeah.
This is also, you know, a judgment is coming down from the people. And that is even worse than judgment in the courts. This is the people. The people have turned their back on him.
Oh, I mean,
the people have chosen to you know, it's worse. Look, you can pay the Supreme Court to get you off. You can put in your own judges, but if the people themselves shun you, you're finished. And this shows a shunning, and then somebody else shakes their hand and goes into the White House. Well, I'm telling you, this guy's not going to finish this term.
I was just going to say, for Trump, that's worse than death. You know, for a man of his ego. Well, for Trump, he's all about his ego, his numbers, his crowd size, I'm the most popular president in all of history. You know, all that stuff he says. I just think that. I think deep down he knows this. I think what you were getting is what Trump knows. He knows this. He feels things have turned against him. The people have turned against him, but he's putting on the bravado. He's desperately putting on the show.
Well, that's what it looks like. It almost looks like the emperor has no clothes, and then it's like it's like the world shuns him. But I got this Supreme Court. It won't save you because you have lost the people.
Yeah. But that is like a death all to itself in his mind, I think. If Ghislaine Maxwell is pardoned and testifies that Trump didn't do anything wrong, will MAGA believe her? I think the savvy MAGA people, like the people in the House and the Senate, probably are not going to believe it. I think they know what the truth is. But I'm assuming you mean the MAGA supporters, like the heartland of America, MAGA supporters. Some of them, it seems like nothing will sway their mind. You know, they'll say it's lies, it's a conspiracy. Maybe some will wake up.
Do you see anybody in where you come from changing at all their attitude? Have you seen any budge at all in Republicans?
None. I haven't witnessed it personally.
So, because you grew up in a small town in Virginia. In Virginia.
Yeah.
And those are all diehard Trumpsters, right?
Most of them are, yes.
And you saw no change at all after the Epstein thing?
Based on, you know, I know this is hardly scientific. I'm talking about Facebook postings, that type of thing. That's how I keep in touch with a lot of people in my home community. And it still seems to me that the Trump support is pretty strong. And I have some other friends, other parts of the country, like Indiana, Iowa, Colorado, you know, some other parts where Trump is popular, and they're still steadfast loyal.
Yeah, this is the same question. I'm just putting it back up for the audience. But okay, so let's take a look how this is going to play out. I have no idea.
Well, I'm curious myself here. So. Whoa. Oh.
You're making me nervous.
Well, no, actually, I think it might be good because this might be a little obvious, but obviously there's a lot of shame here, but I'm getting truth. And I take from the truth card, you know, the illumination of the candle, people are going to finally wake up. At least a big segment of people are going to wake up to this. That's what I'm getting from this. What are you getting, Lindsay?
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I think that it's come out now that, for example, the Little Black Book was really Ghislaine's black book, and people sat down and called 2,000 names, and they had Trump there. They had all the people in the Little Black Book. The FBI called, "You're harassing people." I'm onto something. That's what the reporter said. But what came out in the investigation was that this stuff is for sale on the black market. So if you've got enough money, you can get photographs of, look, there are people
Musk.
in the FBI. Look, the FBI raided the Epstein stuff. You know, some of them are going to leak to the highest bidder. How much are you going to give me for this? 3 million, 4 million, 5 million. So you've got stuff that's out. There are people selling film footage that's out on the black market and you know that somebody like Rupert Murdoch has got copies.
Oh, I'm certain of that. I'm certain Musk does.
They've got the money for it.
You know, Trump is right now trying to take over CBS News, and he had a very disparaging thing to say about Gayle King today. And my first thought was, oh, don't get Oprah Winfrey mad, because you know she's got access too, with her influence and money. What's that?
The devil.
Yeah.
He's going to get outed. Justice is coming for him.
Ooh, yeah. Truth.
Foolishness. And swimming in denial. The Queen of Cups. She's the Queen of denial. So I think you're going to always have those people that are the queens of denial. But I think that they're taking him out. I think they're going to take him out through the billionaires that have. I think they're going to leak stuff. That's what I think. There's a reason why the Wall Street Journal leaked that stuff. It's because he got on the wrong side of Rupert Murdoch.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's also my understanding the Wall Street Journal is normally impeccable. And before they ever release a story, everything has been thoroughly checked before they would ever print it. So everything is solid and secure. They're not worried about a $10 billion lawsuit. They're probably laughing at that. But yeah, Rupert Murdoch has definitely turned against Trump. I remember I was talking about all those tabloids in the grocery store, like the Inquirer that he owns, and it was always pro-Trump stuff, certainly during the first administration.
Yeah, and now you see with the Daily Mail, with all this stuff, they're slowly turning and they're starting to release stuff. But they've always had stuff, because look at all of the catch and kill stuff they've been holding on to. If he was related to Pecker and the National Enquirer, you know he's got a ton of stuff he can release, including pictures from parties and everything else.
Oh,
yeah.
Let's see. Governor Abbott from Joel, Governor Abbott of Texas is trying to remove absent Democrats from office. Will he be successful? Yeah, I read about that today, that I think he issued an ultimatum that if they're not back by Friday, their seats are going to be taken away from them. I don't know if he can do that, but I read a statement today.
So for the audience who doesn't know, can you talk a little bit about what's going on with the redistricting in Texas?
Well, the redistricting in Texas, frankly, the Republicans know how very unpopular they are, how hated their policies are, and the midterms are coming up. They're getting desperate. So they're now trying early to redistrict, the lines. What's the correct term for it, Whimsy? Redistricting?
Yeah, redistricting.
Redistricting to the advantage of the Republicans, and they basically want to set it up in such a way that the Democrats can't possibly win another election there in Texas because of this. It's so biased. And something that's interesting, there was I don't know a lot about the story because it just popped up as a bulletin on my phone 10 minutes before we went on the air with the show, that California Democrats are now, they're going to try to redistrict only in their favor at the expense of the Republicans. And they said, well, if they can do it, we can do it too here. But I don't know more specifics about it.
And where it really matters, in places that are purple, I would think.
Yeah.
I mean, why not do redistricting in Nevada?
Yeah. But as Kimberly just pointed out, and I was going to say this, Trump was the one who called out this. He said, I need 5 more GOP seats in Texas. And how they just capitulate to him, so that's where it's starting. And of course, the Democrats rebelled. Some of them have even left the state. I don't know if they're necessarily hiding or what, but
this
here
is
the
a
governor's
broken system.
Yeah. Oh, it's incredibly broken. And it's such an assault on democracy I mean,
Yeah.
we have so many assaults on democracy. Certainly, we've seen this year, but here's another one. It's frightening. I hope they don't get away with this. It sets a very bad precedent for other states.
Well, let's take a look.
Okay. So, what are we asking specifically, Whimsy?
What was the question? We got wrapped up in the. Will Governor Abbott be successful in the redistricting?
Okay. Oh, I'm getting stuff going both ways.
Oh, really?
Let me share. Will Governor Abbott be successful in getting through with the redistricting? Shit. I don't like it. I got a yes that he will be successful. And you know what I also don't like? I got a victory card. That's why I wasn't sure about that, because I also get
sick
shame. I got the shame card again, but I also got there's truth coming up. I'm not sure what to make of that, but that victory card had me worried. And then when I asked the pendulum, I got a yes. But what do you have? Because I want to be wrong on that.
You're not wrong, but it's going to the superior. It'll go to the courts in Texas, because we have the devil.
Mm-hmm.
We have the thief, so stealing it over the issue. The Queen of Wands coming in, who seeks justice absolute, and she also is territorial. Remember, wands are always space and time. So basically, it's going to court. They will attempt to do it. If they get 3 out of 5 districts, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
And if the Queen of Wands comes in, it could be a desire to take back territory, or we could be seeing some kind of territorial fight happening, because the Queen of Wands, man, she will, anytime you get a wand coming in, it's get off my lawn. It's got that kind of energy. So I think we're looking at a fight. And I think it's going to go to the courts in Texas. And who knows? But if it goes to the Supreme Court, we're screwed.
I know we are. I know. I just think it sets a horrible precedent. But I think I saw also that the FBI might be called into this, because there are certain privileges they have, like if it involves things like crossing state lines, avoiding to testify, or quote unquote fleeing a scene of a crime. And they could turn this around to say that Democrats are committing a crime by not doing their job, leaving like this, or I don't know if they could collapse all this in.
Do you remember the country ever being this crazy, or was it crazy when we were young? We just didn't notice because we were young.
I think we thought it was crazy when we were young, but looking back on it, I said this last week, Nixon and Watergate almost seems quaint by comparison to what's going on right now. And when we were kids, people did the right thing. You didn't side with your political party. You sided with your country. That was the case with Watergate. Republicans did the right thing. Now it's all about party allegiance and allegiance to Trump. Raymond, the greatest danger to American freedom is a government that ignores the Constitution. And that's from Thomas Jefferson, who was one of the architects. Wasn't he what? Oh, no, wait. I know, the Declaration of Independence. Did he have anything to do with the writing of the Constitution also?
Well, I think a lot of people participated in the writing of the Constitution. Adams was very involved. I know that.
Yes, that I knew. I just, as I said that about Jefferson, I thought, no, I'm not sure about that. And I thought maybe you would from your history.
Well, he was the second president of the United States?
He was the second president of the United States.
Yeah, he was very involved.
Oh, no, wait, he wasn't the second. He was the third president, because I think it was
third.
Wasn't Adams the second president?
Oh, that's right. Adams was the second.
And then Thomas Jefferson was the third.
Oh, you're good.
Well, I hope I'm right. Anyway, I'm sure we'll be corrected if we're not. Joel is asking, I'm surprised that Trump still hasn't collapsed. Well, it's still early in the game. He looks bad. I mean, that's a good point. I wouldn't be surprised if he does have a collapse or he faints or something, you know, as his health deteriorates, it's going to be harder for him to keep up the facade in public. We've already seen footage of him. Like, have you seen reporters have taken video of him walking from the back and how he's kind of unsteady and his legs are a little bow-legged and weak looking? Have you seen that?
Yeah, I still feel like something happened, like a stent was placed, because I feel a pinching pain high up on my right side when I do a HCRV, which is empathy, where you try to be the other person. Like, I want to know what it is to be you, and I feel this pinching pain there, and I'm like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
It's like hurting when it rubs against when my pants rub against my thigh, so I don't want to. And when I contract my thigh, it hurts. So that's why I'm dragging it a little.
You
So
know,
I was thinking, and he's having so many problems with the venous. So I'm thinking, did he have bypass? And to be honest with you, he's a perfect candidate for bypass.
Well, we suspected he might have had a bypass in between terms during those 4 years he was out of office. That would make sense. But he's looking bad. And remember in the medical report, they made that claim. The reason his hands were bruised was because he was shaking so many people's hands, and that's why his hand was swollen and bruised. I mean, I thought, no, that's kind of stretching it a little bit. Yeah.
How do you feel about this?
Will the grand jury records for Epstein be opened? What
are you thinking?
Well, I know we've looked into this before.
There's no way they're going to betray him.
Yeah, we've looked into this before, and I told you the hit I was getting, because remember, I was getting kind of a yes, kind of a no with pendulum and all, is that there might be a heavily censored version. You know, like we've seen with like the Martin Luther King files, the Kennedy assassination report, where
Mueller report.
Where they take a black magic marker.
That's what they did to the Mueller report.
That's the image I'm getting in my head. If it's released, we're going to get something like that. We won't be told the whole thing.
They'll just drag us around by the nose for 4 years and then give us nothing.
Yeah. But you know, something that's interesting, I saw that there's a push right now for Ghislaine Maxwell's full testimony, the transcripts to be released publicly. I saw that today. Now, whether that happens is another story.
Well, let's see about this. Leaked Epstein files on Trump revealed. Let's take a look. Well, I don't think so. It would have to be leaked. Well, let's see if something gets leaked.
Yeah. Well, you know, something, you know, sometimes we read energy does change. Maybe, I don't know if we get a different answer, but I'm feeling it's the same. Will the Epstein files be released publicly? Okay, I'm getting that same no. We're not going to get a full Epstein.
What about by a third party?
Oh.
You know, they're done with him. The billionaires are done.
Oh my God, Whimsy. It went right to yes. Third party.
Let's take a look at the cards on third party.
I want to see your cards. I think yes. Yes.
I know that Elon is done with him.
Mm-hmm. Sure is.
Well, basically, what I get is that it's about the money, it's about the trade routes, it's about his unstable behavior, and the fact that the people that put him in there are done with him. Also, his health is the number one issue. This is Archangel Raphael, who brings the medicine to the person who is sick. So there's a health crisis. But look at his opposition. They want to tar and feather him. Knight of Swords in his house of opposition. They are fuming mad. They are fuming mad. By the way, things are going to blow up in August. August is a rough month for him.
You've said that before.
You know what the issue? Money.
Yeah. Well, also the tariffs are kicking in right now. And now we're starting to see all the grocery store prices and everything go up. That is going to really piss off the supporters, the people. You know, it's because, you know, supposedly Trump got partially elected. I'm going to bring down the price of eggs and milk and all this. And he's just gone in the very opposite direction. We're all going to be literally paying for this.
Let's do one more before we close today.
Okay. Trump said today that Vance is his successor. Any thoughts on this? Well, we have addressed this before. Yeah, we're certain that Vance is going to be president. And we also have gotten, he doesn't want to be president. He knows he's not equipped to be president. He's scared to be president because there's a lot of dirt on him. We've gotten that too.
Well, there's a lot of picture of him in dresses.
Well,
I've seen 2 or 3 of them, and then they disappeared. He's not just in one dress. I saw him in 2 or 3 outfits.
Well, most of those I saw looked more like college dorm party, just for fun. I don't think those were so damaging to him, but I have a feeling there are other pictures and things that are a lot more incriminating.
I kind of feel sorry for him. Like, how did he get himself in this situation?
Yeah, he has his own accountability here. He definitely got himself into it.
Do you think he has more empathy than Trump because he has been on the dirt floor? He has been poor?
I would like to believe that. I'd like to believe that. It certainly makes sense in theory. I mean, did you see the movie that Ron Howard did about him? It was based on his book. Amy Adams was in it, and Glenn Close, and they went into his very poor background in Appalachia and his grandmother who helped raise him. And
I think it's a beautiful story, actually.
Yeah, well, I think most people, that would give you empathy. It would. But he certainly does not act right now like a man with empathy. But I also think he's a puppet.
I think
he's a puppet for Trump. He says what he's told.
I think he acts like a man who's been compromised.
Yes, very much so. So I don't know if he would ever be his own man, if he would ever even be allowed to be his own man if he gets the presidency.
Let's look at the destiny of Vance, and then we'll close for the day. Thank you all for being here. It's been fun. One more question. The destiny of J.D. Vance.
Ooh. Ooh. Well, I got some cards that are kind of obvious, in my opinion. Things like discontent, denial, shame, decisions. Also about his self-esteem. I think he's very insecure. He puts up a bravado. He tries to act like arrogant and all, but I think deep down he's got low self-esteem. But this is the card that intrigued me, competition. He's going to be thrown into like a boiling pot of water, and there are going to be so many people pulling him in different directions. Telling him what to do, what not to do. People trying to control him. I'm not getting happiness around this. It's going to be just miserable for him. But what do you have, Lindsay?
I get that he actually steers the boat in a different direction, and that there are a lot of things he wants to do differently than Trump, and he does not agree with Trump on everything. Well, that actually looked pretty good. That actually, much to the surprise of everybody, he tries to be his own man, his own president, and he's not going to be doing things the same as Trump. And I think people are going to be surprised because he has the 5 of Swords. So the very things that Trump put up, he may be dismantling.
But do you think he's going to be able to?
Yeah, I think that he, with the 5 of Pentacles, if Trump says, well, I'm going to put these 5 people in to this in as judgeships, he might get rid of 3 of them and shock people.
Yeah.
He begins to change the direction.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, something is happening in August, and it has to do with the president's health.
Yeah.
Something is going on with his, evidently he was screaming about nukes on the top of the roof today at the White House.
Oh, really?
And
really, I didn't see that.
Vance works very hard on improving our standing internationally. So he is going to move. He's actually, I hate to say it, a better president. I'll tell you why, because he's going to try and reopen those trade routes that have gotten screwed over.
Well, years beforehand, he denounced Trump. He denounced Trump's policies. I'm remembering that right now.
I remember that.
That's why I feel like right now he's being forced to say things. He has to do his job, be loyal to Trump. But I have sensed he's a lot smarter. He's a lot smarter and a lot deeper than the side we're seeing right now.
And more empathetic, though we don't want to admit it.
But I don't know. I just kept feeling with this discontent, there's just going to be so much turmoil and resistance around him. He may be able to do this, but I don't think it's going to be easy.
According to these cards, he improves our world standing after Trump.
We need something.
It tells me he's going to end the tariff crap.
That's good. That's good. Well, we've been saying for a long time, the universe just cannot sustain this.
He moves us away from the crazy into a more solid relationship globally.
Well, that's good.
That's what the cards say.
Well, that sounds good to me.
It's good, but it's not good enough. We still have to deal with free choice for women. $2.5 billion Bill Gates just put into women's health. Thank God.
He?
To cover the cost because they're not funding Planned Parenthood.
Yeah, that's been one of my great hopes. There will be enough of these billionaires who have a heart and they have empathy, and they're going to see a responsibility to fill in the void of what's been taken away. So I'm very happy to hear that right there. But, we've been picking up that the universe just cannot sustain what's happening right now.
No.
And we have been getting for a while, it is going to start turning around. It's going to get better. It's going to be positive. So that does make sense what you're saying about Vance.
Yeah.
And right now, I've even said my cat would be a better president than Trump.
J.D. Vance is in a similar situation to Harris in the sense that it's not his ship. He can't say anything. But those cards make me very optimistic about him ending the tariff wars, and that's good.
That's very good. That's very good because it is a lot of nonsense right now, and I like to think he's, I've seen signs. He's a very smart man. He's very well educated. I want to believe he has a lot more empathy than he lets on. So yes.
I think that he's definitely a conservative, but he's a lot less crazy than Trump based on those cards. But anybody and everybody, like you said, your cat would be better. All right. Did you have fun today, my dear?
I had fun. I can't believe we're done with the show.
It's already past 6.
It goes by so fast, but we're going to do this again on Thursday.
I know. And we'll have a lot more to talk about Thursday because I have a feeling they're going to be doing a lot of dumps this month. August looks wild and wicked. And evidently we're headed into a serious hurricane season as well. So
yes,
people on the East Coast, please be careful.
I was going to say traditionally, like late summer, early fall is prime hurricane season.
Yeah.
Now with the global warming on top of this, plus our weather services have been compromised, to build the ability to gauge hurricanes, to predict when
shutting down PBS.
Oh yeah.
Goodbye Kermit. Goodbye Elmo.
I hope something.
Elmo is a threat to national security.
Yes. Oscar the Grouch, God, it's
all right, Chuck. How do people reach you if they would like to have a reading?
They reach me. You can see my name there. It's just DransfieldChuck, one word, @gmail.com. And
I'd
love to hear from you.
Yeah, send an email to DransfieldChuck@gmail.com if you'd like to receive a reading from Chuck. And how can they, if they want to see more of you throughout the week, what about your channel?
People are going to see more of him, but maybe people are tired of seeing me. But yes, I'm with you. We're doing a Thursday show now, but I also do a live stream on Mondays on my channel, the Chuck's Captivating Chronicles, Chuck's Captivating Chat, 5 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. No, pardon me. Dyslexic here. 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Now that show's much lighter. We just talk about old Hollywood and I Love Lucy and any other topics people want to talk about. We just have fun.
Sounds good. And if you'd like to reach out to me, you can reach out to me through Booksy, Dr. Whimsy Anderson at Booksy to schedule your appointment with me. All right. I think we're done, everybody. So on that note, be kind to all so that all will be kind to you too. God bless. Peace out. Thank you, everyone.
We'll see you Thursday.
Bye.
Bye. See you Thursday.
Bye,
Thank
everyone.
you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.